this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and I'm back working in my 2023 October daily. I will not be sharing day 12 and 13 with you because I've already documented those layouts and those prompts in my October daily. So basically, we had our Peaches virtual craft all day party, and I got to work on those days while I crafted with my Peaches. But I will be sharing with you that day for prompt number 14, which I'm going to be using the prompt spooky hour for this one because I'm going to be documenting the screenshots that I took throughout the day of the Peaches while we were crafting. A lot of the Peaches came dressed up in their costumes. They looked adorable and I wanted to capture every moment. So I tried really hard to take screenshots every 2 hours throughout the day. So I have a bunch of screenshots here. I shrunk them down to make sure they could fit on my spread, but I did want to back them up with some color, and I needed a pattern that was subtle enough that when I stamped the time, it wouldn't get in the way. So I found this extra piece of pattern paper in my stash, and I used that to back up my photos. I'm basically just going to stick down my photos at this point. Then I want to use this old Kelly Perky stamp to stamp out the times I took these screenshots. Kind of represents that we crafted all day and had a great time all day long. Anyways, so I'm going to start with stamping PM because I took these screenshots between 12 and 10 p.m. And like I said, it was an all day kind of thing. And it was fun to see who made it early, who had to leave, who stayed at the end of the night. You know, it was just a lot of fun. And it's a great way to capture the whole day in these screenshots. Once I stamped out PM, I'm going to start stamping my time. I will edit some of this out because it does get kind of boring. I'm kind of repeating myself. So you don't have to see me stamp out every single number, but I'm basically using that space to stamp out the times that I took these screenshots. If you're curious about my Peaches, it is a YouTube membership that you can join. We have loads of crafty time together. I have 2 Zoom meetups throughout the month, and we always have 2 annual craft all day parties throughout the year. So if you're interested, I definitely recommend to check out that join button located on my YouTube channel. Anyway, since I filled up that space on my spread, I knew I had to add an extra page to my layout so I can stamp out a title, add journaling, and all that good stuff. So I went through my pattern paper. Love the moon phases on this pattern paper. It's such an old Studio Calico paper, but I got to use it. And I thought I could stamp the number in one of the moons. And I had to stamp it in white ink, but my white ink is so dried out. Yeah, I definitely need to buy another one. So what I decided to do is I stamped it twice to at least get some of that white, popping off the black background. But I also used my Posca pen to outline the numbers, and that really, really helped. And I actually like how it looked. I even added some white dots around it to brighten it up a little bit. And it looked pretty cool. And I was able to add another page where I can stamp out a title, add some cuteness to my spread, and also leave some space for journaling. So I'm going to start by using the Studio Calico Halloween Alpha to stamp out Peaches, and I went with something very mute. I wanted it to match the pattern paper from the opposite side, and I also wanted to keep it neutral color because I knew I was going to be stamping on this page, and I didn't want it to interfere with whatever I added to this page. So once I stamp out Peaches, I'm going to grab one of my older Close to My Heart stamp sets. It has little characters, Halloween characters that are adorable. I'm going to stamp out the mummy, a skeleton, a witch. I even used some other stamp sets. I think I end up using one of my Syncopation Halloween stamps to stamp out the witch, some bats. I think I even use Everyday Explorers Halloween stamp to stamp out the ghost. I just kind of play with this, and while I have my Everyday Explorer stamp set out, I'm going to use that spider stamp. You know how much I love that spider. It's become a favorite, and I'm going to use that spider to just stamp it next to Peaches, and just so I can kind of divide that space between my title and my journaling, which I will end up adding later on, and you'll see it in the pictures at the end of this video, but I just didn't have time to print my journaling while I was filming. I do want to add a pop of color to my little characters. So I'm just going to use my Tombow markers and my Crayola Super Tip markers to fill them in. And then once I'm done with that, we can move on to prompt number 15. For day 15, I'm going to use the prompt, I think it was friend, family, or pet, and I'm going to be documenting these adorable selfie photos that I took with the adorable Stitch. So I had a lot of these selfies, but my template had 3 2x2 boxes, so I printed 3 of those photos. And I'm going to go through my stash of stickers. Again, you guys know my whole goal for my October daily is to use my stash. And once I pull out my stickers, I see right away this large heart, and I think it said, "I love you so much" or something. It didn't work perfectly. It was a little bit too big, and it bothered me a little bit. I kept looking at it thinking, oh, I don't like where it is, but I do love the idea of having it on my spread. I even move past it and add this washi tape sticker, which again, I didn't like either. I'm gonna change my mind a lot on this layout, by the way. But when I grab my Studio Calico kit, that's when I decide, you know what, that heart is not fitting properly. It doesn't look right. So I need to move past it. Let me trim some of these 2x2 cards out. Some of them are smaller, like 2x3. And try to see if any of this works on my spread. While I was trimming them out, I was trying them out on my layout, and I found this really cute and subtle tag. It said "things that go bump in the night." It was cute, it was neutral, it was subtle, so I end up actually using that. I feel like it fit perfectly between my photos and that strip of sticker washi, but you're gonna see I even changed my mind about the sticker washi. I feel like those pumpkins were very childlike and they just didn't fit the mood of the spread. So I tear it off. Yes, I tore it off because it did tear some of my paper. I'm going to cover that up with this ghost washi, which looked so good. I love the black and white. It fit really well with my photos. And whatever I end up adding later, the black and white is not going to clash with it. So now that I have that done, I decide I'm going to stick to the tag, but I need a pop of color. So I go back to my stickers and add this adorable leaf. Yellow looked really good against my photos and it just gave a pop of color, but I still need to fill in that space between my 3 photos or my 2 photos. So I go back to my Studio Calico kit, trim down that little box. It had a ghost and the moon was yellow and it just fit nicely. I feel like it was a nice break between the photos. And again, it brought in some of that yellow to my photos as well. So I went with that. And I'm going to change up my number stamp for this prompt. I'm using an older Feature Craft stamp and I stamped 15 directly on my tag. I'm okay with changing up my number stamp from prompt to prompt. I'm trying to stick to my large number stamp from Studio Calico, but again, I'm okay with changing it up if I have to. And I did have to change it for prompt number 15 because I knew that large number stamp from Studio Calico was not going to fit. Anyways, I did use my Everyday Explorers Halloween stamp to stamp out these stars. They kind of looked like bursts and I really liked how big they were. So I added those and I was coloring them in with that same yellow from my leaf. And then I went back to that same sticker sheet, a very old sticker sheet, and I'm using some of the stars from that sticker sheet. And I will change up my mind again while I'm sticking down these stars. I'm a-okay with changing my mind as long as I create something I enjoy creating and I'm happy with my layout. And I definitely recommend to change it if it doesn't fit your style or if it doesn't look right to you. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and call my layout done. Don't forget, I will be adding all the links for everything I used down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye!